Good evening, dear children. Let us continue the lesson work, energy, and power. Okay. And last class we have discussed about work done and also how we can measure work. You know that how we can measure work? Work done can be measured as the product of force and displacement, isn't it? And today's class we are going to discuss about different types of work. Okay, different types of work. Actually, there are three types of work, that is positive work, negative work, and zero work. We can have three types of work: positive work, negative work, and zero work. Let's see one by one. First, we can see positive work. How we can say the work is positive? Okay, how we can say the work done is actually positive? Suppose a horse that pulls a cart, an example. A horse pulls a cart, in which direction actually the cart is moving, that thing. In which direction the horse pulls it or apply force, in that direction only that cart will move. Suppose here consider this duster. I am applying force in this direction, in that direction only this duster moves. That means here the force and the displacement are acting in the same direction. If the force and the displacement are acting in the same direction, in that case actually the work is said to be positive. Okay, if the force and displacement are in the same direction. Okay, suppose if a horse pulls a cart, in that direction, in which direction the horse pulls the cart, in that direction only the cart is moving. Here we are applying a force, in that direction only the duster moves. In that case the work is said to be positive. Listen it, if the force and the displacement are acting in the same direction, then and the work done is actually positive. You can consider another example. Here I am lifting this duster upward. That means I am applying a lifting force to lift this duster. In this case, the duster moves upwards and the lifting force is also in the upward direction. Here the work done by the lifting force is actually positive. Okay, that is, in order to lift this duster upward, I have to apply the lifting force. Here the displacement of this duster is also upward and the lifting force is also acting upward. So the work done by the lifting force is here positive. Listen to it. And next when we drop this duster downward. Okay, when I drop this duster downward, here actually the duster moves in the downward direction. The gravitational force is also acting downward. Okay, here the work done by the gravitational force is actually positive. The force and, anyway we can say the force and displacement are acting in the same direction. The work done is positive. Okay, when the work done is positive, actually the angle between the force and displacement is actually zero. Force and displacement. Okay, the angle between the force and displacement is zero. Okay, actually you will detailly study in +1 class how the angle becomes zero in the case of positive work. Now you just remember, in the case of positive work, the angle between the force and displacement is actually zero. If the force and displacement are acting in the same direction, the angle between these two is actually zero. Listen to it. That is about the positive work. If the force and displacement are in the same direction, the work done is positive. Okay, here the angle between the force and displacement is zero. Isn't it? For example, for positive work actually, when a horse pulls a cart, here the work done by the pulling force is actually positive because the force and the displacement of the cart are in the same direction. Listen to it. And when we lift an object upward, the work done by the lifting force is taken as positive because the force and the movement of the object are in the same direction, that is in the upward direction. And when we drop a object downward, here the work done by the gravitational force is positive because the force and displacement are in the same direction. Listen, that is about actually the positive work. And the second is negative work. How we can say the work done is negative. You know, if the suppose if an when we lift an object upward, you know, the gravitational force is in the downward direction. Here the displacement of the object is in the upward direction and the gravitational force is in the downward direction. Here the movement of object and the force are in opposite direction. So the work done is negative. In that case the work done is negative. So we can say if the force and displacement are in opposite direction, if the force and displacement are in the opposite direction, the work done is negative. Okay, the force and displacement are in the opposite direction, the work done is negative. Suppose when we lift an object upward, the work done by the gravitational force is actually negative because gravitational force is acting downward and the object moves upwards. So the work done by the gravitational force is actually negative. Okay, and also when we consider the movement of an object or a ball that rolls on a ground, you know, in this direction, the ball is moving in this direction. You know, there is a frictional force which acts against the motion of object. So actually it is in the opposite direction. The frictional force is in the opposite direction. Okay, the frictional force that opposes the motion of ball. Okay, so here the object moves in this direction and the frictional force is in opposite direction. So here the work done by the frictional force is negative. The work done by the frictional force is actually negative. Here the force and the motion of object or the displacement are acting in opposite direction. Here the work done by the frictional force is actually negative. Isn't it? And we can consider another example. You know, when we apply brakes on vehicles, the vehicle stops. Okay, and here the work done by the braking force is also negative. The work done by the braking force is also negative. That is, here the force and displacement are acting in opposite direction. Okay, so in the case of negative work, what is the angle between the force and displacement? And here the angle between the force and displacement is 180 degree. Okay, the force and the angle between the force and displacement is actually 180 degree. Isn't it? And here, what is negative work? The force and displacement are in opposite direction, then the work done is negative. Isn't it? When we lift an object upward, the work done by the gravitational force is negative. And also, when an object moves over a surface, here the work done by the frictional force is negative. And when we apply brakes on vehicles, the work done by the braking force is actually negative. Here the force and displacement are opposite direction. So the angle between the force and displacement is actually 180 degree. Okay, that is about what? Negative work. Okay, next about zero work. The next is the third type of work is actually zero work. Okay, there are three conditions there. The work done to be zero. Okay, then what are the three conditions? The work done to be zero. First, the force is zero. Then the work done by the force is actually zero. And the displacement S is zero. Then the work done is also zero. Okay, and also if the force and displacement are perpendicular, that means the angle between the force and displacement is 90 degree. Then the work done is also zero. In these three situations, the work done by a force can say zero. Okay. What is actually zero work done? If the force acting on an object is zero, then the work done is zero. Or the displacement of an object is zero, then the work done is zero. Also, the force and displacement are perpendicular, or we can say the angle between the force and displacement is 90 degree, then the work done is zero. Listen to it. We can see the examples for zero work done. Suppose, if an object moves along a circular path, okay, the centripetal force is acting. When an object moves along a circular path, the work done by the centripetal force is actually zero. When an object moves along a circular path, the work done by the centripetal force is 0. You know, what is the direction of centripetal force? You know, we already learned. It is always towards the center along the radius. It is always towards the center along the radius, and the direction of motion is like this along the tangent. Okay, along this tangent. Here the direction of centripetal force and the direction of motion or the displacement of the object are at perpendicular, or the angle between the force and displacement is actually 90 degree. In this case, actually the work done is 0. So if an object moves along a circular path, the work done by the centripetal force is 0. Here an object moves along a circular path, you know the direction of centripetal force is always towards the center along the radius, so like this. And the displacement of the object is along the tangent, so it acts like this. So here the angle between the force and displacement is actually 90 degree. Also we can say the force and displacement are perpendicular to each other. In this case actually the work done is 0. Listen to it. We can consider another example. Suppose a man carrying a heavy load on his head and walking in this direction. That is the horizontal direction. Okay, so in order to lift the object or heavy mass, he has to apply a lifting force upward. Then only he can lift the object. Okay, lift that object. Actually, he has to apply a lifting force equal to the weight of this body. Okay, so the lifting force acts in the upward direction as he is moving in this direction. Here also the force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, or the angle between the force and displacement is actually 90 degree. In this case also the work done is 0. Okay, when a man carrying a heavy load on his head and walking in the horizontal direction, here the work done by the lifting force is actually actually 0, because these two are actually perpendicular. The force and displacement are perpendicular, or the angle between the force and displacement is 90 degree. Okay, here the work done is actually 0. We can consider another example. Suppose a boy pulling a wall. Is there any movement on the wall? You know, there is no movement. So the displacement of the wall is 0. In this case, the work done is also 0. Isn't it? That is about actually the 0 work. What are the necessary conditions for the work done to be 0? If the force acting on an object is 0, or the displacement of an object is 0, or the force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, or the angle between the force and displacement is 90 degree, then the work done is actually 0. For example, if an object moves along a circular path, the work done by the centripetal force is actually 0. You can consider another example. A man carrying a heavy load on his head and moves in the horizontal direction. Here the work done by the lifting force is actually 0. Okay. Also when a boy pulls a ball, here the displacement of the ball is 0. So the work done is 0. Okay, all of you got it? These are the 3 different types of work. So positive, negative and 0 work. Okay, next we can see about energy. Okay, so we have finished the first part actually work. That is we finished. The next we can go to energy. Okay, you know, in everyday life we use the term energy frequently. You know that thing. Okay, for example, if we say that we are considering 2 boys A and B. Okay, suppose if we say the boy A is more energetic than boy B. Okay, it means that what does this actually means? The boy A can do more work than boy B, isn't it? If we say that the boy A is more energetic than boy B, that means the boy A can do more work than B, isn't it? And we can say that the boy A has more capacity to do work than B. Okay, we can say that boy A has more capacity to do work than boy B. It means that actually energy of a body is measured in terms of it's in terms of the amount of work done by the body. Okay, the energy of a body is measured, the energy of a body is measured in terms of the amount of work done by the body. Okay, if a body does more work, it means that it possesses more energy, isn't it? The energy of a body is measured by the amount of work done by the body. So if a body does more work, we can say the body has more energy. Okay, and we can consider an example. Suppose if we raise a hammer in air and allow it to do fall on the head of a nail, what will happen? The hammer will do work on the work in driving the nail into the wood, isn't it? If you raise the hammer in air and allow it to fall on the head of a nail, the hammer will do work in driving the nail on the wood. That means what? It can do, the hammer can do work on the head of the nail. Then only it can penetrate into the wood. It means that the raised hammer is having energy. Okay, the raised hammer is having energy and which can do work on the nail. Due to this energy, it can do work on the nail. Similarly, the wind, the wind can run a windmill. Okay, it means that the wind also possesses energy which work. Okay, similarly, the wind can run windmills. It means that wind possesses energy which work. Okay. So energy may be defined as the capacity or ability of a body to do work. Okay, what is meant by energy? Energy may be defined as the capacity or ability of a body to do work. Okay, the energy may be defined as the capacity or ability of a body to do work. Actually, the amount of energy possessed by a body is equal to the amount of work the body can do. Listen to it. The amount of energy possessed by a body is equal to the amount of work the body can do. Okay, that is what much amount of work can do by a body, that much work is equal to what the energy possessed by the body. Okay, thus the amount of energy is measured in terms of work done. Okay, so we can measure the amount of energy in terms of the amount of work done, isn't it? So since actually since the energy is the amount of work done, so the the SI unit of work, last class we have learned the SI unit of work is actually joule. So the unit of energy is same as that of the unit of work, isn't it? Because since the energy is the amount of work done, energy is the amount of work done a body can do. So the unit of energy is same as that of work done. So the SI unit of energy is joule. What is the SI unit of energy? Actually it is joule. Okay, and if a body, how we can say a body possesses 1 joule of energy? How we can say a body possesses 1 joule of energy? Okay, that is if the body has the capacity of doing 1 joule of work. Okay, if a body has the capacity to do 1 joule of work, then the energy possessed by the body is also 1 joule. Okay, so we can define 1 joule in terms of work done and also in terms of energy. Okay, last class we have learned 1 joule in terms of work. Here we can say the 1 joule in terms of energy. Okay, so the 1 joule of energy means what? It means that the body has the capacity to do 1 joule of work. Listen to it. That is, if a body has the capacity to do 1 joule of work, then the energy possessed by the body is also 1 joule. Isn't it? Here the 1 joule of energy means the body has the capacity to do 1 joule of work. Is it? Here the work, the energy is also a scalar quantity. like work, energy is also a scalar quantity. Okay, the energy is also a scalar quantity. That is about actually energy. You know what is energy? Energy is defined as the capacity or ability of a body to do work. Okay, the capacity or ability of a body to do work. That is actually energy. Okay, you know what is the SI unit of energy? Actually, it is joule. Then how can we define 1 joule? If the energy of a body is 1 joule, what does this means actually? It can do 1 joule of work. Okay, it can do, that body can do 1 joule of work. Then like work energy is a scalar quantity. Okay. Okay children, today's class we have learned about different types of work, that is positive, negative and zero work. What is positive work? If the force and displacement are acting in the same direction, then the work done is positive. Here the angle between the force and displacement is actually zero. Then what is negative work? If the force and displacement are acting in opposite direction, then the work done is negative. Then what is the angle between force and displacement in the case of negative work? Actually it is 180 degree. Isn't it? Then what is zero work? What are the necessary conditions the work done to be zero? If the force acting on an object is zero, then the work done is zero. Then the displacement of an object is zero, then the work done is zero. Then the force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, or the angle between the force and displacement is 90 degree, then the work done is zero. Isn't it? The next we have learned about energy. What is energy actually? It is the ability or the capacity of an object to or a body to do work. That is actually energy. You know the SI unit of energy, actually it is joule. Okay. The next actually we can discuss different forms of energy, that we will see on next class about the different forms of energy. Okay. That is the end of today's class. Thank you children.